Countless articles today claim you can learn music, hone your foreign language skills, or cram for tomorrow's math test while sleeping. Subliminal message tapes to help you stop smoking, lose weight, improve your golf skills, and find love, all while sleeping. In a 1950s experiment done by Charles Simon and William Emmons, attached electrodes to the scalp of the participants in the study to observe them as they went in and out of sleep states. While sleeping, the participants were played a list of 96 facts, and when they had awoke, they were asked trivia questions, but there is no evidence that they had retained any of the information. Small wave or deep sleep is recognized as being critical for memory consolidation, the stabilization from short-term to long-term memory. This usually happens in the first half of the night. The firing of our brain cells are highly synchronized. We measure sleep by electrodes on the scalp. Slow wave sleep appears as slow high amplitude oscillations. These slow waves originate in the neocortex and make a circuit with the hippocampus. This connection allows for newly learned information to be repeated actively through the night with each oscillation.
A common misconception people have about their brains is that we only use 10% of it. We use every part of our brain, and most of the brain is active almost all the time. The brain uses 20% of the body's energy, and the majority of this energy consumed by the brain is what powers the rapid firing of millions of neurons communicating with each other. The rest of its energy is used for controlling other conscious and unconscious activities in the body, like driving a car and breathing. Neurologist John Henley says, evidence would show over the course of the day you use 100% of the brain. Areas such as the frontal cortex, which controls things like higher level thinking and self-awareness, are active even when you're asleep.
A study of nearly 100 students at Ohio State University found that those who were hypnotized were no more accurate in giving corrected dates in a memory test of past events than students who were not hypnotized. In the study, students were either hypnotized or given a relaxation exercise, then asked to estimate the dates of events that took place in the previous 11 years, such as the beginning of the Gulf War. When they were told that they were wrong, the hypnotized students were much more reluctant to correct the date than other students. Joseph Green, associate professor of psychology, said that 9 out of 10 people believe that hypnosis could help people to remember something they could not otherwise recall. While hypnosis does not enhance the reliability of memory, there is evidence that it leads to increased confidence in memories. The bottom line is that memories recovered through hypnosis or any other technique need to be validated through other means before they are accepted as true. A survey conducted proved that people over the age of 70 are generally happier than the rest of the population. The highest concentration of depressed people between ages 25 and 45. A study in 2008 observed that 1/3 of 88-year-olds reported that they are very happy, and the odds of being happy increased 5% with every decade of age. The elderly lowered their expectations and accept their limitations and recognize more positive info rather than negative. We believe that old age is associated with dissatisfaction and senility because of the media and how it portrays elderly. For example, Grandpa Simpson, Grumpy Dwarf, and Livia from The Sopranos.
The Inkblot test, also known as the Rorschach test, was not intended to be a measure of personality. It was meant to be a profile with It was meant to profile people with schizophrenia or mental disorders based on score frequencies. Rorschach originally developed the Inkblot test to secretly figure out which people were schizophrenic. In his study, schizophrenic people responded very differently than others. His scoring method minimized the importance of what the actual Inkblot was and focused more on how to classify the responses he received. He categorized the scores into different parts. For example, he scored if the Inkblot response was talking about the whole Inkblot, such as a large detail or a small detail. The letter F was used to score for form of the Inkblot, and C was used to score where the response included color. He believed that your response shows what is going on in your subconscious. There are 10 distinctive Inkblots in Rorschach's test. This test gives insights to a person's past experiences and behaviors. Dyslexia is defined as a general term for disorders that involve difficulty in learning to read or interpret words, letters, and other symbols, but do not affect general intelligence. It is caused by the brain's inability to process information received from the eyes or ears into understandable language. 70% of people believe that the defining feature of dyslexia is reversing letters, including special education teachers and speech therapists. In the 1920s, neurologist Samuel Orton coined the term strophosymbolia, meaning twisted words, to refer to the tendency to reverse letters, and hypothesized that it was the cause of dyslexia. Dyslexia is actually a learning disability in which the person has trouble processing written language. A dyslexic person could find it hard to sound out words. Dyslexia isn't an indicator of mental ability because studies show it also occurs in highly intelligent people as well. Studies show that up to a certain point it is normal for children to reverse their letters when learning to write, and it is pretty common.
Dogs can see in color, but it is not the prettiest. When we look at the rainbow, we see red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet. Dogs, on the other hand, see in very dark gray, darker yellow, like a brownish, light yellow, gray, light blue, and dark blue. The human's eye and the dog's eye have a special cell that catches light, and they're called cones, and they react to color. Dogs have fewer cones than humans, which suggests that their color vision won't be as rich or intense as ours. There are several different types of these cones, though. These different kinds have different reactions to the wavelengths of colors. Humans have 3 of these, and when a human only has 2 or 3, then they are colorblind. This is the same situation with dogs. When a human is colorblind, they still see colors, but they aren't as bright, which is the same thing when it comes to dogs. Dogs' vision is also less developed than ours. Dogs only have 20 to 40% of our vision. That means an object a human can see clearly may appear blurry to a dog looking at it from the same distance. Dogs, on the other hand, are able to see in much dimmer light and can detect motion more easily than we can, something that serves them well in the wild as nocturnal hunters of camouflaged prey. Scientists from the University of California, Santa Barbara, named Jay Nietz is the one that did research for a dog's vision and color. What Nietz did was show the dogs 3 light panels in a row. 2 of the panels were the same color, while the 3rd was different. The dog's task was to find the one that was different and to press the panel. If the dog was correct, he was rewarded with a treat that the computer delivered to the cup below the panel.